Yeah.
Keisha.
Thought if I meant she a hot girl. Don't shake some.
Shakira.
All 8 girls tattooing their bodies with his particular name. Even a white girl too. This boy is doing way too much. All right, hey guys, welcome to Dark Arts Podcast 91. Is where we help you guys navigate the dating world and avoid the pitfalls of manipulation, control, and influence in relationships. Today, we are talking to you guys about reason why 8 girlfriends tattooed Oluwatosin's name on their body. I'm going to break it down for you on a deeper level than you've probably heard before. But this is really interesting for me from a manipulation, a toxicity aspect, right? I don't believe those tattoos are acts of love, right? They feel like acts of love, but they're not. I don't believe they're acts of love. And especially the fact that he had 8 girlfriends or 8 different girlfriends, or whether he had 8 girlfriends at the same time, I don't know. It makes no difference. Each one of them had a tattoo of him on his name. There's a reason why that he's a common denominator in all 8 of these girls' lives, and that actually gives us a platform to be able to actually give a better judgment as to what's actually happening here in these relationships. So stick around. I'll break it down for you why these 8 girls decided to tattoo his name on their body, and also I'll be able to explain as to what is actually going on with him and why also he's wanting these women to tattoo themselves with his particular name on them as well. There's a psyche that goes behind it, and I want to break down it for you guys as well.
The Dark Arts.
Dark Arts 91. We're talking to you guys about why this gentleman Oluwatosin decided to have 8 of his girlfriends tattoo his name on their body. I wanted to start this point here and start very clearly, right? He is the common denominator. He has 8 different girlfriends who maybe at the same time or not at the same time have tattooed his name on their body. Now, when we talk about tattoos, this is often an exciting rush, thrill to tattoo the person's name on your body. I remember this maybe at the time of maybe like being 17, 18. I remember I told one of my girlfriends, I'm going to tattoo your name on my body. And why was I doing that? I wanted to prove my love to her. Basically, I had messed up in a relationship and I was trying to get that back. And I said I'll tattoo that on my body. Thank God I never did. And the reason why a lot of people do this is because they're trying to show the other person that they're unduly committed to their relationship. But here's reality. If only one person is tattooing that person's name, then who's really committed? It's only the person who put the tattoo on their body that's really committed. Then if that's the case, why would you want to do it? Because if you're showing you're committed and another person doesn't want to tattoo your name on them, are they committed? Now, it might sound cool, like, okay, hey, I like tattoos, but the reality of the situation is you're trying to prove your love to this person rather it being known. Now, of course, we all prove our love in some shape or form, right? You take a bit of time and you show over time a consistency of behavior that shows the other person they can trust you. So in some aspects, there is some proving of love in there. But when we talk about proving love, what I really mean is that the person themselves is trying to prove not to actually their partner. They're trying to prove that they're worthy of love, and that's completely different. When you talk about proving yourself to your partner, that's over a period of time of consistent behavior to build trust. In this instance, tattooing the name on the person's body is actually about you proving to the other person that you're worthy of receiving love. And in that situation, that's completely different. And that is no longer love, nor is that no longer is that love. That is now what we call toxicity. I would even like to want to say that in some aspect. And I'll call that low self-esteem in that instance, right? Okay. So the first question I asked myself was, okay, did he get a tattoo of their names on his body? It doesn't seem like it. It just seems like them. But let's say he did get tattoos of them on his body. This is very similar to Kim K and Pete. Pete got all the names of Kim and I think her kids or whatever on his body. It's called obsessive love. And at that point, it's not about love. It's about you obsessing. It's stalkerish. And in some aspect, it's a fantastical idea of love. It's not real. It's based on these wild feelings that you have, which is based on shallowness. because it's not based on necessary trust and commitment and actual love. It is based on a feeling and wanting to feel that rush of love and assuming that that is love, right? And that impulsiveness is you also trying to prove you deserve love and you want love. So if he had tattooed all 8 girlfriends on his body, I would be asking the same question. It's about him trying to prove to these women that he's committed and wants them and desires them, right? But it promotes this whirlwind and extreme highs and lows type of behavior in a relationship, right? You think about it, like you going on and getting a tattoo, or you both go and get tattoos, but you've done this 8 times. We don't know if he has or not, right? We just know the women have done it. The 8 women have done it, right? But let's say he actually tattooed all 8 girlfriends' name on him. The first time we'll be like, okay, cool. Second time, you're like, oh, but 8 times, which we don't know if he actually has done. We just know the women have done this. Then you have to start questioning, what is he trying to show to each woman when he tattoos? He's trying to prove that he's worthy of love. But we don't know if he has done that. And more likely, I don't think he has, because he didn't post it. They posted the fact he had 8 girlfriends who have tattooed their name on his particular body. So then we have to say then the obsessive love isn't on his end, it's on their end. And their obsessive love is coming from a lack of esteem, which is created when there's a vacuum, oftentimes in your childhood, that leads to what we call productive or healthy forms of expression of love. And when people are trying to prove their love, okay, all right, on a deeper level, what they're trying to say is, I want to make sure that I am worthy of receiving love, because they never felt worthy of receiving it in their childhood. So these women doing these tattoos are trying to prove to him, but they're actually trying to prove to their parents as well. At the same time, they're trying to fight the complex, which is what we fight the past in the present, right? And what they're trying to say is, you know what, I didn't get the love that I needed when I was younger, but I'm gonna get it now. Right? I'm going to get it now. And here's the reality. This young man is representing this love that they deserve to have. This young man is representing the love that they should have had. This young man is probably coupling their obsessive love and their lack of esteem with sexual behavior too. So there's probably sex heavily involved, really good sex. Oftentimes it is toxic relationships. You should have really good sex in them. And that releases the dopamine and the serotonin and the oxytocin as a rush of flow, and the cortisol in the body. And we see these rushes of chemicals that begin to flood the system every time we get a high. And what that does is it gets the person thinking that they feel like they're in love. Right? Because we assume that love is a feeling, when actually love is an action. And the reason why you're in that place is because you thought love was a feeling and you should feel love, but actually love is an action that we should be doing. And so this trying to prove that you're worthy of love, and the mixing of sex also involves a false intimacy. Sex is intimacy, but it's not the intimacy. It is a part of intimacy. Sex being then used as a tool of intimacy is a way of unraveling the person to their deepest core. Because when the Bible talks about sex, it says, you know, he now knew her. And we use sex as a way of trying to know the person. So instead of actually really discovering who we are, we're using sex as a method to take that man. That's what the ladies are doing, using sex as a method to take that man and to be known. But the reality is that he only knows you in one capacity. This is why you're taking and tattooing him on your body. You want to prove to him you're worthy of love. For him, his ego is validated. It shows that he's worth a lot, because if women are willing to go to the extra mile, how much value do they place on him? A lot, clearly, because they go in the extra mile. And so this interpreted is meaning that he has value. More than likely, if he's asking these women to tattoo themselves on his body, he's choosing women that are insecure. He's choosing women that haven't got high self-esteem. He's choosing women that are mentally maybe unstable. He's choosing women that, you know what, are susceptible to toxicity and are used to dysfunction in their livelihoods, that when he comes in, it ain't no different. You know, and sometimes what happens is these ladies have such low expectations. He may just do a little bit above that, and they feel so validated, so seen, so heard, and feel so loved and cared for, because he just does slightly just above what they've experienced in their childhoods, oftentimes in their teenage years. All right. So he's getting validation from it, right? But for the ladies doing this and tattooing themselves on the body, this is toxic to you. And really what it is that you're trying to prove your worthiness. You are worthy. You are a worthy individual, but you need to go and heal and get your self-esteem together, because at this point, what you're doing is placing him on such a pedestal, and actually lowering yourself to such a point. Now, if you both did it, I could kind of see what you're saying, but 8 times, say 8 different women, all with the same pan, he is intentionally working it and wants validation from all these women. And the women are willing to give it to them because their esteem is so low. Much love and appreciation. Hey, you've been listening to Dark Arts once more again. Make sure you like, you share, you subscribe to this channel. And also, we're here to help you guys navigate the dating world and avoid the pitfalls of manipulation, control, and influence. Much love.